welcome to Reading the Game, the series where I read the game, you listen to me reading the game, we all get to learn things about our favorite games, and I get one of my 10,000 years! Last time we looked at Honkai Star Rail, we were looking at the factions, those people who worship the Aeons, and have made factions based around them, yes! We only got about halfway, because apparently there was actually a lot of text, and it was a lot to get through, and I didn't want the video to be too long, so let's carry on where we were. We had, if I remember correctly, just read about the family, the Harmony, which gave me certain flashbacks from a certain train in a certain library game. So, we'll move on to the Genius Society of Erudition, yes! We know that Herta is a member of the Genius Society, and erudition characters tend to be smart cookies, yes, so let's carry on. Into the hallowed halls step pride, ardor, and reason, traversing the length of a corridor etched in with the inscription of knowledge and truth, transmuting into the embodiment of loneliness and apathy and frenzy. Fables About the Stars by Adrian Spencer Smith. Oh, nice to see you, Adrian. There is a related entry about Adrian, a character. I just one moment. Oh. We will read more about the characters, and I believe that was in terms, yes? Yes. We will read that at some other point, because I am somewhat curious about this Adrian Spencer Smith. I do hope we find out more about them at some point, but anyway, let's read about the Genius Society. Nos stays in a corner of the cosmos, working out equations of the universe, made up of trillions of variables and deriving the unknown laws of imaginary numbers. Once in a while, a spark of intelligence flashes across the mortal world. The Aeon of Erudition sends a signal to its source, inviting geniuses to join in the search for answers to the universe. Many people misinterpret the signal, thinking the invitation to the Genius Society merely represents the favor and approval of the Aeon. Then they proudly continue to devote themselves to their studies, unaware that the solution to the problem that they have spent their whole lives searching for had already been solved by Nos thousands of years ago. There are also those who rejoice, thinking they have already reached greatness and had created priceless assets of civilization with their diligence and wisdom. They were sure that their life's achievements deserves Nos' approval. These geniuses were eager for a response from Nos, but the erudition has no time to appreciate the insignificant achievements of mortals. Their silence... Oh, wrong button, I do appreciate. Their silence was deafening. Only very few can ascertain Nos' intentions. They humbly ask questions and seek guidance from the erudition. These enlightened few then disappear from the world, only leaving behind their world-shattering answers. The answers to the universe is beyond the limits of mortal wisdom. Only geniuses who can clearly acknowledge this conclusion can break free from the shackles of worldly curiosity and become members of the Genius Society. How very interesting. I don't feel like I got that much information about the actual Genius Society in that piece of text. I feel like what I got was more information about Nos himself rather than the Genius Society itself. But then we have already met two members of Skrillium and Herta in the main game, so I suppose we'll probably find out more as we go. Intelligentsia Guild. Erudition. The universe is vast, and knowledge is universal. Both the genius and the mediocre have their own way of living. How I joined the Genius Society and became enlightened by Herta. Oh, a book by Herta. Very good, very good. Only the cream of the crop can become members of the Genius Society, but the Intelligentsia Guild wastes not. The guild is willing to accept all beings from the infinite universe who seek to learn, as well as providing all that is needed for the pursuit of knowledge. The Intelligentsia Guild advocates all knowledge must be circulated like currency. Therefore, there are different schools that specialize in different subjects within the guild. Everyone is actively engaged with one another, with no isolationism. Members trade knowledge for wisdom and formulas for recipes seeking to achieve mastery. Each school, like a business, pays for itself, and academic circulation has achieved the maximum efficiency proposed in economic models. An elder in the Genius Society thought the Intelligentsia Guild a laughingstock. However, as an open academic organization, the Intelligentsia Guild is above such mockery. After a long period of research and exploration, its members have reached a consensus that the only way to transcend the limitations of the individual is to have an academic network of mutual learning. The only way to transcend the limitations of the individual sounds very much like the Harmony to me. However, that does sound like a very nice place. For once, I don't see the downside. There may be some issues with using knowledge as an economic model. They did have some talk about that in Sumeru in Genshin Impact, but it really did not get touched upon all that much, and I am fascinated by the concept of a institution whose currency is knowledge. I would love to see that. Maybe we will visit the Intelligentsia's Guild at one point in our journey. I do hope so. I do hope so. The architects, the preservation. The foolish who have their wall of flesh. The greedy who have their wall of riches. When the end comes, they will all turn to ash. Life is too short by Anonymous. Oh, Anonymous is back. I really did think that they were only going to talk about the abundance, but here we are. Here we are. Legend has it that the Aeon of Preservation Klapoth is the oldest Aeon. Silent and mighty Klapoth built light years long barriers around the cosmos, never engaging in any trivial conflicts or badgering with other Aeons. Civilization across the cosmos speculate on the motives of Klapoth. One said the ancient Aeon foresaw disaster that could obliterate the cosmos, so Klapoth built a barrier to protect the worlds. One said Klapoth was willing to slave for other Archons and was ordered to build the wall for them. There is no way to verify the truth, but Klapoth's tireless actions moved the mortals. They spontaneously gathered in groups to build a barrier to protect their planet. Some architects have claimed to feel the protective gaze of the Aeon upon them. They liken the gaze to gaze of approval, tingled with warmth of the forge and the smell of lime. The annihilation of a single star can devastate planets thousands of light years away, pushing them to a precipice of extinction. On the rare occasions of such calamities, worlds are saved only by the walls their denizens have built. People who survived their demise no longer mocked the stubbornness of the architects. Instead, they joined them, never to question their motives or the meaning of preservation again. Once more, this is more of a information about Klapoth himself rather than the architects themselves. We have heard of the architects on Belobog, and they don't have much contact with other worlds, so I wonder if other worlds have architects too, or if is this a faction that is almost completely unique to Jalo 6. The IPC, the International Peace Corporation. With all due respect, is there anyone in the universe more enlightened than our chair, Klapoth? Klapoth acquiesces to all our business decisions, never asking or questioning why. How great a privilege! How great a trust! Oswaldo Schneider, head of the International Peace Corporation Marketing Development Department. Oh Lord, that is a mouthful of a department. Level P47. The ICP is a name that comes up a lot, but one that I don't feel like has been explained, so I will be interested to find out a little bit more of them. To outsiders, the ICP is an enormous construction advocating free trade. From a business perspective, the ICP is a business that issues money and monopolizes resources. From a startup perspective, the ICP is a selfless support group dedicated to the aeon of preservation. And again, I pressed the wrong button. When many astral citizens talk about the ICP, they talk about its ubiquitous merchandise and logo. It's as if the ICP exists wherever there is transaction. In fact, most all business transactions in the cosmos are based on credit systems created by the ICP. If one were to compare interastral trade to the sports competition, the ICP would be the top athletes as well as the sports, the venue, and the rules themselves. Its absolute dominance over wealth and relentless expansion has given the ICP the image of a conspiratorial business dictatorship, but the ICP pays little attention to lowly ambitions such as dictatorship, because its spirit hasn't wavered since its creation. Give everything to the Amber Lord Klapoth. How very interesting. I would not expect preservation to be the one. Well, no. Now I think about it, preservation is something that would class with the money, preserving society. Money is at the root of all society. It is a big motivator for literally everyone to do anything. They say everyone has their price, and to preserve their way of life, people would need money. So I suppose it would make sense that the large corporation of the universe worships the aeon of preservation. What a wonderful, wonderful thought. Ah, the swarm. Our latest in the simulated universe, yes. The swarm propagation. Human desires are complex, twisted, and even ugly. By contrast, the aesthetics of the swarm and legion are so pure, it's admirable. Some scientist, before he went mad, are you sure? Because that sounds like his first step towards going mad. Life is born of an instinctive desire to reproduce, and the senses and spirit are only unintended byproducts created when carrying out basic instincts of reproduction. Those who don't submit to their primal desire claim to be wise, unaware that they are already considered food for the offspring of Tai. Yes, I do remember trying to pronounce this Aeon's name and not being able to. The Aeon of propagation, the father of the swarm. The multitudes of the swarm's king's offspring can cover the starry night in their antenna long enough to measure the cosmos. Worlds fearfully call the self-replicating chaos as the swarm. Spirit, soul, technology, philosophy, in the thousand compound eyes of Tai, the universe laws pursued by all intelligent races are but side effects of the ultimate goal of reproduction. The swarm doesn't seek a following by higher races, for worship itself is an unnecessary desire. Only the flying creatures that succumbed to the primal instinct will be attracted to the self-replicating primordial tide, transforming to be a part of the swarm after becoming its food. Even without their god, the swarm continues, expanding at an incalculable rate, bringing fear and disaster to the world chosen as their nests. Oh my, that is quite terrifying, do you not think? It sounds quite bad, the instinct to reproduce, but having fought them in the simulated universe, I can't say that I do not understand the fact that they do asexually reproduce and simply clone and clone and clone until they have completely overwhelmed you is terrifying. You can see why the universe had such an issue with them. And now the Garden of Recollection, yes, this would be very interesting. I believe these are the same people who have very difficult content in that mirror, in the ship, in the train even, you know what I mean, yes. Garden of Recollection Remembrance. For people who spend their lives in the desert, even the fleeting memory of aquatic life is priceless. Fables about the Stars by our good friend Adrian Spencer Smith. To think is to exist, and memories are proof of all that. All things that make up the material world will eventually perish, but they can live on another way. Through remembrance. Contrary to popular belief that memory is fixed with the imaginary, memo keepers from the Garden of Recollection believe reality and imagination to be a myth. What is absolutely real and immortal in the universe that is constantly reincarnating. When even stars die and black holes evaporate, on the cosmic scale they vanish in a breath. In this flood of time and life, the only treasure is the memory that proves the existence of people. Memo keepers from the Garden of Recollection are dedicated to preserving and sharing memories. Enlightening their master fully, memo keepers shed their mortal flesh and live on as mimetic entities. With this unique gift, they can freely traverse between worlds, constrained by physical limits. Memo keepers often disguise themselves as natives of the world they visit. They trade, copy, steal, and deceive, using every means necessary to collect precious memories. Now we are doing something similar with that mirror. That is a garden of Garden of Recollection even. Person doing that. When they steal, does that mean that the person can no longer remember? Deceive is an interesting word. But I suppose that is just lying to take someone's memory. They do sound quite scary. Though I'm not sure that memory is quite as valuable as they make it out. It is quite valuable to one's sense of self. And I do wonder how terrifying the Garden of Recollection could be. Cremators. Worthless memories dissolve in time, like tears in rain. From the memories of memo keeper Roy Hampton before execution? Oh, Roy, what did you do? In 2053 AE. In the Garden of Recollection, where memories of the universe are sought and kept, hides a group of extreme memo keepers who view the marks of existence differently. Instead of treasuring all that takes place like their colleagues, they believe that there are different qualities and properties of memories in this world, and that the pure land created by Fuli should not be taken up by worthless memories. The cremators believe that they bear the duty of filtering memories for the Aeon. They steal the sorted memories the memo keepers have gathered and rank them in order of importance. The ones they deem worthy are returned to collection, whereas ones arbitrarily deemed unworthy, are completely destroyed, never to be found again. Crewmates claim that they are clearing out the garbage in hopes of relieving some of Foolie's burdens, and contributing to the Aeon's glorious work of making a pure land of memories. However, the Garden of Recollection scoffed, and saw no reason for their actions. For not even the smallest shard of memory in the universe has a reason to exist. No mortal has the right to judge the value of memory. Oh, there's always that little group, is there not? In every single religion or group in the world, there's always that group that feels like they know better, that feels like they should be the ones to judge. And that does not surprise me that the cremators exist for that reason. I do hope we get to visit the Garden of Remembrance at some point. It sounds very fascinating. Oh, here we go. Morning actors. The elation. Now, the elation did scare me when we first saw them. They gave me this chaotic and unpredictable vibe does very much scare me. They do not laugh, only cry. The more they cried, the harder I laughed. I laughed and laughed until tears fell down my face. And you know what the morning actors did? They handed me a tissue! A masked fool with no name. The morning actors are firm believers against the elation. They believe life is full of ups and downs, that agony makes people mature, and feeling joy only offers hopelessness. And feeling only joy only offers hopelessness and unreachable temptation. Cheap entertainment is a narcotic for humans, and lose themselves in it. All beings should renounce joy and endure grief to temper their spirits. To this end, these people form a theatre troupe of sorrow. The actors ride a gondola that spans the stars to perform. They collect and wear masks from different worlds, symbolizing the races that have passed and those that have not. At the same time, they record the sorrows of intelligent life. They compose magnificent tragedies for heroes facing their end, and sing graceful elegies for dying stars. The morning actors advocate celibacy and penance, hoping this would go against the path of elation, and due to the sweet allure of elation has been able to provide the universe. However, joy and sadness are two sides of the same coin. Their very essence is engraved into the souls of all beings, and the aeon of elation sees the potental strength in the beauty of tragedy. Perhaps out of fondness for their wicked sense of humor, Aha blessed these people with aeonic powers, playfully helping them spread their renunciation of joy across many star systems. Oh, I see. So the Aeons are like, oh, and you're not sweet. You're still very much entertaining people. People do like a good tragedy as much as they love a good comedy. And elation, though, seems to be about joy. It seems to be more about entertainment. I believe the morning actors misunderstand the elation completely. And that is what led to them accidentally being tied to them, I guess. Yes. Oh, the masked fools. Here we go. Are you ready? I have heard of this one. So allow me to do it justice. Even an organization... Oh no, how dare I trip at the first word when it comes to the masked fools. Even an organization like the Masked Fools sing praises of their Aeon. The Aeon's never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around and desert you. They're never going to make you cry, never going to say goodbye or tell a lie and hurt you. Asterically, super pop star of Ellipson 12 system, yes. Yes, we got rickrolled by elation, yes. The masked fools tell a parable of the birth of their beloved Aeon. When the Aeon of elation climbed to the highest branch on the tree of existence, they saw the cold and despicable void, the stars operating like machinery, and the meaning of all things bows before nothingness. They continued looking until they saw a baby fall to the ground and cry because it had been wronged. The Aeon burst into laughter, laughter so clear it tore through the gold of the universe, and still reverberates through the universe today. The fools believe that the truth of the world is a joke, that the ultimate meaning of all things lies in mere laughter. The universe is merciless, but there is joy to eliminate pain, dilute sorrow, resist nihilism, and heal wounds. Laughter is the gift of intelligent races, is the only answer. Masked fools are extremely radical when it comes to their beliefs among the followers of elation. In their pursuit of pleasure, they do whatever it takes to find it, often causing havoc wherever they go. They laugh at heroes for self-righteousness, kings for their lust of power, lovers for their infatuation, and scholars for their overthinking. The fool's objective is to stir the stagnant pool of life to create surges and change, because change is the source of mockery and amusement to the fools. It would be a welcome sight if someone could turn the tables on them. Who wrote this, and why do you want me to bully the masked fools when they rickroll me? Which is wonderful. Seems like internet trolls to the extreme, and I dread ever meeting them, I'm not going to lie. They're going to be so annoying and the worst things on the planet. God damn it, fools! Mirror holders, beauty. The mirror holder gazes into the mirror, but recognizes not the face staring back. Fable About the Stars by Adrian Spencer Smith. The legend of the mirror holders had it that the downfall of the god of beauty was an ancient metaphor symbolizing the shattering of people's views on beauty, crumbling like a collapsed tower into rubble and bricks. Therefore, the goal of the mirror holders takes on another significance. When conceptions of beauty are reunified, all disputes and strife will disappear. They believe the Aeon they worship will be perfect and complete again, and the universe will become whole. This may not be a mere delusion, as the mirror holders possess a series of items named mirrors of transcendence. These mirrors do not reflect the material world, but instead reflect what is considered by the beholder as beauty, and project that onto reality. As the mirror holders recount themselves, these mirrors were fragments of Idrilla's divine form. When the god of beauty died, their fragments were shattered into the cosmos. The wandering mirror holders tried their best to find clues and recapture these fragments, hoping to one day piece everything back together and let beauty return to the world. I did not think a dead Aeon would still have people, but I suppose they can't talk, since we are part of the Nameless, which worship Akiveli, who too is a dead Aeon. Oh, and the Knights of Beauty, yes, I've come across the Knights of Beauty in the simulated universe. I also believe they recently revealed one of the designs for one of the Knights of Beauty, who looks a lot like Diluc from Genshin Impact. If I win, please admit that Idrilla the Beauty is the most beautiful of all. Argenti, Knight of Beauty. Among the legends of Idrilla's followers, the most infatuated with classical beauty formed the Knights of Beauty. They ride their fateful and dexterous mounts and chant ancient beautiful songs as they fearlessly travel from planet to planet, extolling the name of Idrilla to the beings of the universe. The Knights of Beauty are extremely self-disciplined. They stubbornly abide by an obsolete creed known as the Code of Chivalry, being that only through a perfect refinement of body, mind, and spirit can they become truly worthy of worshipping Idrilla. Despite their extraordinary strength, the major factions of the cosmos hold the Knights of Beauty in low regard. Warriors with only worship but little faith are but wastrels traversing the universe, and cannot form a powerful force. Rumor has it that the Knights of Beauty do not believe in the fall of Idrilla. They shuttle back and forth across the universe, their source of power still a mystery. Oh, how very interesting. So the Knights, they just keep going, even though their source of power should be gone with the death of the Eon. However, they are still going, regardless of it. Is this a power of self-delusion? Because they believe their Archon is not gone so much that they have managed to keep their power? Or is there something else going on with them? Who knows? Oh, how exciting! Historical fictionalists. Ignomata. Oh, the lying one. The one who wants to keep things a mystery. Yes, this should be fun. History is not mired in truth. Reality can be distorted. We should let the past cease to stay in the past. It only exists in the here and now, in our brains, where everyone can embellish it. The 5 Millennia Void by history fictionologist Ludokan. There is evidence that history fictionologists are a group of emanators that were enlightened by aeons. They often plunged into the sea of stars alone, traveling planet to planet with the sole purpose of fabricating, obscuring, destroying, and erasing the local history. History fictionologists believe that the past determines the future. When a civilization's history is definite, its future development is doomed, as all possibilities are eliminated, leaving only sad and rigid path forward. In order to save these worlds from the sad fate of objectivity, history fictionologists consider ignomata their only creed, and determined to shroud the universe in mystery. History fictionologists carry out their missions of destroying history alone and decisively, with an altruism that is difficult to comprehend. Their views are poorly misunderstood by most, and their blatant hatred of objective facts is somewhat extreme. Many worlds are beginning to realize the irreversible, intangible damage these enemies of ignomata have caused to culture. Across the cosmos, history fictionologists, which is such a mouthful, have a reputation comparable to that of the Antimatter Legion. The Intelligentsia Guild has publicly denounced them. The Antimatter Legion destroys matter, and the history fictionologists destroy the very universe itself. Record stamp. In view of the fact that this entry has been edited with unknown attribution, it is hereby declared that this entry is incapable to any reference, and will no longer be updated. Wait a minute! So is this wrong? Have the history fictionologists gotten into my system and changed it? Are they really so feared? Oh no, I don't know what to believe. Oh no. What a fun faction. What terrible, terrible things these people might cause, but they might not. They might be fine. I don't know what to believe. Oh no. Ignomata, my friend, you have put in so much work to just confuse me right now. Wonderful, wonderful. The Riddlers, Ignomata. Oh no, there's more than one of them. Batman has his work cut out for him. You know what I know, and you don't say what I don't say. What am I? What are you? You don't know what I know. You don't say what I say. Oh, I'm not going to go into it. I'm sure someone else will know. Put it in the comments, please. Ignomata has a large number of followers, with the Riddlers being a prominent group. They were once palace called poets, chiaroscuro painters, masters of disguise, or occult monks. While having reached great heights in their respective fields, after coming into contact with the Aeons, they turned into an incomprehensible group of people who spouted ridiculousness and wrote falsehoods. Where the history fictionologists are devoted to the mystification of history, the Riddlers are obsessed with destroying the certainty of language. Words used to express meaning are gradually obfuscated in the mouths of Riddlers. They deconstruct texts, abuse metaphors, change words' orders, tamper with semantics, and transform an otherwise precise language into something beyond recognition. While the Riddlers are not as prominent as history fictionologists, their actions have a subtle yet huge impact on the current universe. Why is it so hard to find a pure, precise language in the cosmos these days? That is another riddle left by the Riddlers. Oh, fascinating! One of the things I love about language myself is how it can be updated and edited as it goes along. Each generation that comes along adds new things, shortens new things, and in 100 years the English language does not look anything like it did in the past. It's fascinating. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I love the idea of these Riddlers who do this on purpose. That just... They must be down with the kids, these Riddlers, because that is the best way to change a language, is to get the kids to do it. The children are very talented at these things. And last but not least, the arbitrators, the equilibrium. Good medicine tastes bitter, sweet honey causes harm. Balance begets choice, and choice breeds freedom. Life is too short by Anonymous. At the beginning of life, the weight of existence was planned upon the scales, and the burgeoning of life energy instantly tilted the balance of the universe. But the patience of equilibrium is unfathomable. Given enough time, existence and nothingness are destined to attain perfect balance. Once more, the balance of the universe precepts must be respected. The arbitrators are admirers of whose ideas, praising their eternal focus and patience. But universal laws have no control over time and space, and mortals can only pursue the beauty of equilibrium in a secular world by the elimination of radical extremes, beauty and ugliness, joy and sorrow, good and evil, love and hatred. Countless opposing concepts were created and interspread to satisfy the arbitrators' obsession with a zero-sum universe. But the rules of mortals are always riddled with flaws. Out of desperation, the arbiters were constantly forced over the inexplicable passage of time to patch up past fallacies and mistakes, forever shifting the hope of equilibrium onto the next batch, who watches in silence, knowing that the restoration of order could never be shaken in the slightest by such vulgar mortal drama. The equilibrium sounds like an Aeon who really kinda needs to just... No one needs to do anything for it. We can just be comforted by the equilibrium's existence. But for some reason, people still feel the need that they want to do it themselves, and I guess that is a somewhat mortal problem that mortals tend to be a bit of a busybody, and they see something and they want to dedicate their life to it, and sometimes it's not worth it because the god clearly has it in hand, and they should simply just accept their place in the universe. But the arbitrators do not, and it seems they are terrible at their jobs, because it is very hard to change human nature, as we are very polarizing people. But anyway, that was absolutely fascinating. Oh, I love these. I love these so much. I really hope you enjoyed this too. I did too. It makes me so excited to see where we're going next in Honkai Star Rail. There's so much to be done. We'd have met most of these people. I want to meet these factions and get terrified by them because this is a cosmic horror in disguise. Many of these things are absolutely terrifying. And I want to meet them all. Thank you for watching. This has been Bryony, and we have read the game. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something and are as excited as I am. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.